2. Why be deceived? And can God's law be changed? In many of the revivals which have occurred during the last half century, the same influences have been at work to a greater or less degree that will be manifest in more extensive movements of the future. There is an emotional excitement, a mingling of the truth with the false that is well adapted to mislead. Yet none need be deceived. In the light of God's word, it is not difficult to determine the nature of these movements. Wherever men neglect the testimony of the Bible, turning away from those plain, soul testing truths which require self denial and renunciation of the world, there we may be sure that God's blessing is not bestowed. And by the rule which Christ himself has given, ye shall know them by their fruits. Matthew chapter 7, verse 16. It is evident that these movements are not the work of the Spirit of God. In the truths of his word, God has given men a revelation of himself. And to all who accept them, they are a shield against the deceptions of Satan. It is a neglect of these truths that has opened the door to the evils which are now becoming so widespread in the religious world. The nature and the importance of the law of God have been, to a great extent, lost sight of. A wrong conception of the character, the perpetuity, and the obligation of the divine law has led to errors in relation to conversion and sanctification, and has resulted in lowering the standard of piety in the church. Here is to be found the secret of the lack of the Spirit and power of God in the revivals of our time. Many religious teachers assert that Christ, by his death, abolished the law, and men are henceforth free from its requirements. There are some who represent it as a grievous yoke, and in contrast to the bondage of the law, they present the liberty to be enjoyed under the gospel. But not so did prophets and apostles regard the holy law of God. Said David, I will walk at liberty, for I see thy precepts. Psalm 119, verse 45. The Apostle James, who wrote after the death of Christ, refers to the Decalogue as the royal law and the perfect law of liberty. James chapter 2, verse 8 and chapter 1, verse 25. And the Revelator, half a century after the crucifixion, pronounces a blessing upon them that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates into the city. Revelation chapter 22, verse 14. The claim that Christ, by his death, abolished his Father's law is without foundation. Had it been possible for the law to be changed or set aside, then Christ need not have died to save man from the penalty of sin.